So I was talking with this fitness coach the other day, and online fitness coach, massive following count, like 200, 300,000 followers. Okay. And it seemed like looking at his profile, followers, whatever, like this guy's making a ton of money. And then we got into chats about his funnel, like, what are you doing with this? What are you doing with this? He told me, yeah, I sell a $250 a month fitness program where people come and they pay $250 a month for this, this, and this. And I was like, okay, why are you doing that? Why are you charging $250 a month if you're, delivering all this value? He's like, well, that's kind of just industry average. That's what everyone else is charging. Everyone else is charging $250 a month or $100 a month or whatever around that number. So I'm just going to take kind of the middle ground and just kind of play it safe. Some people are charging really high. Some people are charging really low. If I just take the middle, I should be pretty much good. Okay. But what we don't realize a lot of the times, and this happens with me, this happens with a lot of other people that I talk with, is when we copy other people in the market, there is a very high chance that those other people are most likely doing things wrong. Okay? And what I mean by this is the average fitness coach right now makes $2,000 per month, 2K per month, which is horrible. 2K per month. Like, how are you going to survive on 2K per month? And let's just say on average, you're going out, you're starting your business, you're going to go copy a guy like who I just showed or who I just told you about, barely making any money, doing 5, 6K a month with massive following count. Oh, I'm just going to go charge the same as him because he's probably making all this money. You're going to end up in the exact same position as that sort of guy. So we copy a lot of people when it comes to funnels. We copy all these sort of stuff, but we have to learn to ignore people, especially now in this market. If you're going to want to make 100K a month, how are you going to make 100K a month? By copying someone who's doing 5K or 10K or 20K a month. Okay. So this is what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to give you kind of an SOP on how to not ignore people and what that strategy kind of looks like applied to you and your business. So then you can, scale past that. Okay. So what I've pretty much noticed right now is, like I roughly talk to 3 to 4 different business owners, fitness business owners every day. Most people can't scale past 50K a month. It's like a plateau, okay? Because they're probably copying people under that 50K a month, funnel hacking, whatever. What I've also noticed is most people have the skills, okay? So almost every business owner, they know how to market. They're good marketers. They're good salesmen. They know how to do, objection handling. I know how to handle it. I want to think about an objection. Oh, what do you mean I want to think about it? Right? They know how to operate, like pretty basic stuff. They know how to do this, but they're still managing to, they're not able to make good money. Okay. And what you have to realize, if you're already making money or you're starting from scratch, same thing applies to you. What got you here is not going to get you to the next step. What got you to 50K a month, what got you to 10K a month, what got you to 5K a month is not the thing that's going to take you to the next level. It's like playing a video game. There's levels to the game, and what got you to level 2 is not going to get you to level 3. It's a new skill. It's a new sort of technique. It's a new thing, concept, insight that's going to get you to the next level. Okay. And really just having like specifically just the skills right now, getting to a decent number is not really going to get you to the next level. Everyone has skills. Skills are honestly becoming commoditized. AI's out. AI is very skillful. It's the most skillful thing probably on the planet in terms of information. Skills and information, not going to cut it. Okay. So pretty much what I figured out after kind of going through this process, talking with people, is there's 2 kinds of people in the fitness space. There are innovators and there are adapters. Okay. There's innovators and adapters. It's very simple of kind of the differentiators between this. So most of the people that I talk to are in this adapter category. Okay, they have a problem, they look around, they see, what's working for other people, they copy it, they replicate it, the pricing, their marketing funnel, their offer, they go read Alex Hormozi's Grand Slam offer, and they put the little DM me X for, my free ebook, right? Because they're just copying. Okay. And especially right now, like genuinely, I believe that it doesn't really matter what is like objectively correct. And what I mean by this, like, it doesn't matter what's objectively correct. It matters what works. What matters what works. What I mean by this is this. Alex Hormozi came out with a book called Grand Slam Offers, or $100 million offer, sorry. And he had a concept in that book called like pretty much creating Grand Slam offers. And within that book, I will help you get to, like, the offer is I will help X do Y thing in Z time, remove pain, the whole value equation. And what's happened is that 5 years ago was correct. Like if you did that 5 years ago, you were crushing it, or even longer ago, whatever. But right now, everyone's doing it. Okay. So it's not working anymore. That concept of the whole value equation doesn't apply anymore because everyone's just doing that. So, like, if everyone's doing the same thing and that action is correct or true and it should work and it doesn't, then that doesn't matter anymore. Does that make sense? So, kind of an interesting concept. So, everyone's copying everyone else, everyone's copying incorrect things, everyone's doing the same thing, and it's becoming very commoditized. Okay. And also, the problem with copying other people is you can never really know if something genuinely works. Okay. Because everyone's getting the same results. If you take the approach, you're going to get the same results. So you can't really like you're kind of just copying to copy. You can't see like outside of your observation point of view or the container that you're in, but because you're already copying those people. That makes sense. So it's very weird. Okay. And for example, to take pricing, let's say you're running an in-person fitness business. You look at the marketplace, you see everyone else is charging low ticket, cheap prices, when we know that that's the worst idea. And yet 95% of people will go out, will copy that exact pricing model because everyone else is doing it. And very soon they'll wonder, why aren't they making money? Okay. So if you're doing the same inputs as everyone else, you'll get the same disappointing outputs. Okay. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to look at other people. We don't want to go out and copy. And this is the thing. I'm going to be like complete honesty. When you're starting out and you're at zero, it's very easy to go copy people. And I wouldn't be like, it's not horrible to go out and copy other people because that may get you your first couple sales. If you just do the same thing everyone else is doing, but push a lot of volume, you'll get some sales, 100%. But that's not what's going to get you to 50, 60, 100K a month. It's not. That will get you your first couple sales, 5K a month, maybe 10K a month if you do a lot of volume, but there's not a lot of leverage in that. Everyone can do volume. Everyone can work 12 hours a day. But why do some people work 12 hours a day in their coaching business while others work 12 hours a day and make a lot more? How does that work? The input's the same. It's the vehicle that's different, okay? So we don't want to do the same inputs as everyone else. If you're the top player in the space, who are you copying? Think about Nike, for example. If you're at the top of the mountain, you're not copying anyone else. You're innovating. You're creating new solutions. You are gathering unique insights that are unique to your solution, your mechanism, your business, okay? So there's this guy named Mike Maples, and just to kind of share about Mike Maples, he is a venture capitalist. He gets hundreds of applicants a month that apply to receive capital from his business, and he invests in companies pretty much. And he puts companies through pretty much a screening process to see if he'll want to invest in these companies. And what pretty much happens is he pretty much create like the screening process to see if companies will either be investable, he'll invest money or not. And one of the biggest things that he has in the selection process that I was able to view is, does this company have something unique that no one else is doing that they know to be true? What is something that this company knows to be true that others don't know to be true? Okay. And if you look at all the fitness coaches out there, everyone's doing the same thing. Sure, you have a great physique. Thousands of other people have great physiques. What's different? Why are you unique? Think about going and actually, okay, wherever you're at in your coaching business right now, think about this for a second. Think about going right now and making like a write out of what your business is about. I do this, I help people lose weight, whatever. And going and pitching this in front of a boardroom. Got it up on the whiteboard, you got your marker. Like, what is unique? Why would if I'm an investor and I'm like, John, why would I invest in your company? What's different about your company compared to this coaching business that also has 50,000 followers? Like, you would be like, well, I have this cool, I post better content than them. It's like, is that really the thing that's going to differentiate you? I can just go simply and make content. That's not like, that's a vehicle that if you had against me, I could just go make good content as well. Right. So barrier to entry is really low. Anyone can do it. Everyone is doing it. It's commoditized. Okay. So A good example of this is Alex Ramosi, okay, with Gym Launch and his gyms. Okay, when he first started out, most gym owners were struggling. They were charging low prices, relying on old, outdated strategies. Instead of copying them, he decided to do the opposite and create a high ticket front end offer. Most gyms, what do? Memberships, $100 a month, $100 a month. What he did is he said, okay, pay me $600 up front for a 6-week challenge. That's a lot different than most people. Before Alex Hormozi, people weren't doing gym challenges. People weren't charging high ticket up front. Okay. Within a few years, he started teaching this. Everyone was trying to copy him, but he's already moved on to Gym Launch and whatever. Okay. So he created new mechanisms. It sounds cliche, but he thought outside the box. Okay. So to break past the 6 to 7 figures a month, you have to do the same thing. You have to constantly innovate and be a leader, meaning you lead. You cannot follow the herd or copy anyone else. You have to create new mechanisms. You have to innovate, find unique insights. Okay. The only way to dominate a marketplace is to know something that isn't a consensus, something that nobody believes in or isn't even aware of yet. Exactly what Mike Maple says. What do you know to be true that others don't know to be true? If you go to a board of directors and you're saying, hey, everyone believes this, everyone is doing this, all my competitors are doing this, but this that basically no one else is doing, that basically no one else has thought of, innovating, solution, new, that will get you a lot further than saying, oh, I'm just like going to push more volume than other competitors. I'm going to post more than them. I'm just going to like think about it from that level where you're trying to get capital. That will help you think about this a little bit more. Okay. If you can successfully achieve that, you'll be rewarded in proportion, as the majority of money will always go to the first adapters of the market, the first people who are moving towards new things. Okay. So if you look at this graph right here, the early adopters to a trend, the early adopters to do something new, to do a new mechanism, to start a new wave are the people who are going to achieve the most amount of return from that initial, I guess, investment, you could say. Okay. So like to put this in context, think about a stock. Okay. If a stock is, no one knows about the stock, no one has caught on to the stock, and you're in there early and then people catch on later, you're going to make a lot more money because you were in there initially. So think about this in perspective of innovation and being the first mover and first adapter to a new concept, to a new mechanism. You got to be in there early. Okay. If you follow the crowd and only adapt when everyone else does, you'll end up later on fighting for scraps, trying to do like really stupid shit. Think about, oh, my funnel has to be a little bit better. Or like, oh, my button on my VSL page has to be blue instead of red. Like, do you really think really small nuances like this are really going to change your business? Oh, I have to post 8 times a week instead of 4 times a week. It's like, is that really going to get you to the next level here? Just pushing more volume, very small nuances. Okay. Is that leveraged? Is that truly leveraged? Because as more people chase the same trends and conform to the same playbook, returns will decrease, competition will increase, and it becomes exponentially harder to get the same results. And then at that stage, when it's exponentially harder to get the same results, that's when people go lunatic. They become schizophrenic. They become schizos. They start doing things that don't really matter, and they're testing all this stuff, and they're trying crazy, weird things and whatever. And it just becomes this crazy sort of battleground for fighting for scraps. Okay. So here's a solution. I'm going to give you the solution right now on what you can do. So how to live in the future. If you can live in the future, if you can get your brain into the sense of always finding new things, living in the sense of, okay, I got to find new insights, new ideas, new et cetera within my coaching business, then I can get to that level. So to innovate and create solutions that you can take to 6 to 7 figures a month, all you have to ask yourself is a simple question, okay? How can I help X client achieve Y activity in the best way possible? If you ask yourself this question, then you can start thinking about, what does my client need? What obstacles will they face? How do I make their success inevitable? Okay? When you start with this question and actually forget about what other people are doing and zone in and actually get data from clients and actually go and talk with the person, then from there you can actually reverse engineer the process, because your business at the end of the day is finding your client, okay, who wants your service, wants your transformation, and doing that in the best way possible. So you, instead of going to your client and figuring out what they want, you are going out and copying out other people and seeing what John's doing with his coaching business or whatever. Go to this person who actually wants your solution, who actually is going to buy your solution, and figure out their desires, their pain, what obstacles, how do I make their success inevitable? What are insights that I can gain? What are, if I talk to 100 of these people, are they all saying consistent sort of things that I can then reverse engineer into something that is going to be able to serve that market? Okay. So you got to go talk with your prospect. And one thing you have to realize when you're talking with your prospect is when you're talking with your prospect, don't listen to what they say, learn from what they do, if that makes sense. Don't listen to their words, look at their actions. And what I mean by this is people will say, like consumers will say, "Oh yeah, I want this, or whatever." But what are they actually doing? What are the patterns of their actual activity? That's what you actually have to look at. Okay, and then from there you will start coming up with ideas. If I was X client, I would need accountability. I would need this. I'd need to know how to shop for groceries. All this sort of stuff you're going to look at. Okay, and if you notice what's missing here is looking at competitors. It's very hard to do this while not looking at competitors because it's kind of an easy out and this level of safety blanket. But you have to you have to talk to and learn from the customer data. One of the things we do within our company is we have to track our client data. I have to see it. I have to see, okay, this client of mine who's running ads within this niche, what is this niche saying about what he's doing? What is he saying about what this niche is doing? Genuinely. So if someone else is in this niche, I can then go take this data and then sell it to the other person who's in the same niche. Hey, I want to come in. Instead of having to test, just place the data there. The data is very essential. One of my mentors says, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're on a sales call with someone, if you're running an ad, if you're making a new funnel, if you're making content, every action you do will result in some sort of output, data. And your job as a business owner is whatever you're doing, talking with the customer, making content, is to derive data out of something. Even if you're talking with a customer and they don't want your solution, oh, I don't want what you're doing, that will still, a no will still push you to the direction of an objective truth or an insight that you can then repackage and use in the future. Okay? So, otherwise, if you look at other businesses, you'll start thinking, okay, I guess we need to do a meal plan, a workout plan, 24/7 SMS support, whatever the hell that is, value add-ons. Then I'll charge $200 a month, and that'll be our entire business. In short, if you want to become an industry leader and grow your business insanely big, you should never be looking at others for solutions. You should never be relying or copying. You should be the leader in the industry and innovate. Think big. Don't actually think big. Think about, okay, if I wanted to get to $1 million a month, how would I get there? Would I get there by posting 7 times a day? Genuinely, think in that level of 10x. Think 10x. Don't think 2x. It's honestly easier to 10x your business than it is to 2x your business. Okay? The Wright brothers couldn't copy anyone to invent the airplane because no one had done it before. They had to create it from scratch. This is an example right here. Same applies to your business. The biggest opportunities are waiting to be discovered, and they'll only be seized by those who stop looking at the herd and actually think for themselves. You need to constantly be on the edge of the industry, see opportunities. Okay? You need to find unique insights, unique things that you know to be true that others don't. And then you need to take these insights, prove these insights to be true through your testing, through your scientific experiments, run experiments, see what's going on, talk to people, gather data, have a sample size that's big enough. Don't just, oh, this one person said this. Have a big sample size, then take that data and say, okay, I'm going to go do something with it now. Okay? And these are pretty much called earned insights. These are insights that you discover on your own. They come from your experience and feedback that you get from the market. When you use these insights to create a solution, it becomes a solution unique to you. This is something that feels authentic, something that you can prove through actually your data that you've gathered. If you can consistently develop earned insights and use them to innovate, you'll separate yourself from the competition, and instead of chasing trends, you'll be creating them. Okay? So, what are the key takeaways from this video? Okay, number one, what got you here will not get you there. Okay, what got you to 5K a month, what got you to 10K, 100K a month is not going to get you to the next step. Think in levels. Most people don't make money, so please don't copy these people. Most people are not doing crazy numbers, average, whatever. If you actually, genuinely, if you know as a fact that someone's doing crazy numbers, 100K a month, 200K a month, whatever, then in that case, go copy them. Like it's a level of smart intellectual copying in a sense. But most people don't do that. Become an innovator and a leader, not adapter. Do not be adapting to other people. You'll just be the middle. If you adapt, you will take the middle of the market, and you will be the middle of the market. You'll be making the middle of what everyone makes, and it will just be middle ground. Leverage earned insights to create unique high value solutions. So you got to get these unique insights, and you have to earn these unique insights. And be an early adopter, not a late follower. Do not try to come in at the tail end of something and think that you're going to brute your way through something or make more content or make more volume or push more ads. You're pretty much just like finding a car that is like, this is what you're doing. You're finding a car that's so beat up and run down, and then you're thinking, okay, I'm just going to put more gas in this car, and this car is just going to go faster. That's kind of what you're thinking. Okay. Cool. So if you made it in this video this far and you've understood what we've gone through, you have two choices: keep following the herd, copy what everyone else is doing, fighting for scraps, or start thinking for yourself, develop your own insights, and innovate to become an industry leader. Okay. Then proceed to easily scale with little competition because you are leveraged, because you are literally creating your own market. You're literally taking yourself out of the coaching market, the fitness coaching market. I help X do Y and Z time, and you're making your own specific market because you've created a new innovative solution based off of your unique insight. And now what you're doing is you're in a completely different pie. You've created a new pie. And now that you have a new pie, a new market, your job should just be to educate people that this is the objective truth, which you know to be true. So think about this. You have your own pie. You're educating people for this pie. I'm using pies as an example. And you have another pie that is sliced up between millions of people, hundreds of thousands of people, and then you're trying to say that you're the best solution in this. It's not leveraged. Okay, so start thinking for yourself, develop your own insights, innovate. I know it sounds cliche, but you have to do it. I hope you got value from this video. And if you're someone who's looking for data, and if you're someone who wants to understand data about your niche, understand data about what the best niches are right now, markets are right now, a lot of the things we do within our company is when someone joins our company, I place them in what I truly believe to be a blue ocean market, a market that I can genuinely get them to go find insights and then innovate within. And I obviously give them data to do so. So thanks for watching. I hope you got value. And my Calendly, if you want to book a call with me, is I'll link it below, but you can go on my YouTube main page. It is in my description on my YouTube. Go book a call with me. We can have a chat. Cheers.